Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. And let me see who was here first. Oh, I got to take that away. There we go. There we go. That's not too bad, is it? Um, got that. All right. So I can see you can hear me. And let's see who was here first. Church Nelly. Thank you so much for being here first, Church Nelly. CK, Olive Perry, Fancy, Emerald Derrick, Bunny Rose, Lola Love, Joya Moore, Lydia Washington, and a host of friends and others. Okay. Facts and 2 cents. Thank you so much for being here, Petal. I am deeply honored. Bunny Rose is here. Gwendolyn Daniels. Okay. So anyway, um, thank you all so much. As you can see, the hostess with the mostest, Tiffany, is gearing up for the 15th. Don't know what kind of party she's going to have over at her place, but I tell you guys, Tiffany has some really nice rooms in her penthouse apartment. This must be the entertainment room. There seems to be no limit to the entertaining possibilities at Tiffany's place. As you know, Tiffany is a friend of the Sussexes. As a matter of fact, very close friends with Tina and Michelle. And so it's not unusual to see her rallying to support Harry and Meghan. So, yeah, that must be her entertainment room. If you look at the top of the chat, there is a link at the top of the chat. That is for Pedal's Facts and 2 cents channel. Pedal, of course, has an incredible ability to get down to the very root of the matter. So if you want a detailed report about all things Sussex and the occasional contemporary pop culture, as well as international news, despots, um, those that are fleeing Interpol, as well as the occasional, you know, leader of an apartheid nation, right? She has gone after those that have committed genocide. I'm telling you, I'm glad I'm on Pedal's side. Okay? I'm glad I'm on her side because I don't know if I could take being her enemy. So check it out. Remember, it is a Sussex friendly space, and that is the link at the top. Never forget to like, subscribe, and share. And take a look here. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And as always, thank you for being here and for being a moderator as well as a member of Royal Sussex. Okay. So, Meghan Markle has a new Netflix cooking show. The people are all ready to hate it. With Love, Meghan has already attracted haters. The show doesn't actually debut until January the 15th. It ain't even gonna debut until January the 15th. And it seems like this has been the cultural question of the moment. It seems to divide people. And as you know, one of the ways that politicians and, of course, the tabloid media, which increasingly is becoming the mainstream media, sadly, they like to give us the choice of yay or nay, Coke or Pepsi, Love it or hate it, love it or leave it. It's always the question. And of course, to me, I think it is a form of abuse. It's like having some gaslighting, abusive boyfriend that is always trying to lead us down a path or convince us that uh, we're not all together with it. And of course, the main idea is to confuse. And while you're confused, you are being fleeced of your money, or in this case, of your sanity. So it can be very, very dangerous. The media, whereas, you know, I don't need to tell some of you this, but the idea of broadcast news was as a public service to the public. At least that's how it started here in the United States. In order to get that broadcasting license, they had to provide about, I think it was 20 minutes a day of coverage on things happening in the community. And if you fast forward, what, some 75 years, 80 years from the first time television appeared, now it is big business. There are round the clock news channels that are designed to do nothing but to tell you what to think. And since we're on the topic, there was even a time when people still purchased a newspaper, a physical newspaper, and sometimes the more, analytical people would actually sit there and read the paper while they're watching the news. And everything that appeared on television had to be verified by the same coverage, or at least a nearly identical story in the paper. And if the television news deviated from the newspaper, some people just wouldn't believe it. So my point is, we have come a long way since television broadcast news could be a trusted source. Yeah, there was a time when broadcast television pretty much helped the civil rights movement. Now, some very crooked people have taken over broadcast television, and it has become a bastion of right wing politics to the point where you can scarcely trust it. So, a lot has changed just in my lifetime. But the important thing is there is the social media, which I would have never said like 5 or 10 years ago. You're better off if you get your news from the internet or social media. But I tell you, at least with the social media, you can pick and choose your sources. But with television, it all seems to be going one way, one direction. Bunny Rose, thank you so much for the super sticker and thank you for being here tonight. So, Meghan's Markle's forthcoming cooking show, With Love, Meghan, hasn't even debuted yet and is already being sliced and diced online. Scheduled to premiere January the 15th on Netflix, the series promises glossy blend of culinary escapes, escapades. I'm sorry. Let me make this bigger because I am struggling to see that. Let me open up another screen and let me see if that works. That's better. All right. Escapades, celebrity cameos, and sunlit glimpses of the Sussexes' life in Montecito, California. And as we always say on Royal Sussex, in Montecito, there are no leaks. So, but the reaction to his trailer has been swift and cutting, a barrage of disdain and that feels both predictable and over determined, as if the mere existence of the show is some kind of affront. Meghan Markle has been the kind of figure many people love to hate, or perhaps more accurately, hate to love. Whatever she does seems to provoke a disproportionate response. I could say that is true. caught in the cultural, what is that, hour or the drama, or of drama. Who wrote this? Racial politics and celebrity gossip. Well, there is a cultural war. That is clear. There is a cultural war. And sadly for the Sussexes, they are caught in the middle of things that don't have anything to do with them. A guy met a girl. They fell in love. They were willing, both of them willing, to change their lives, their living situation, to do whatever they could so that they could be together and do service together and raise beautiful children together and hopefully change the world for better. But what we have instead is the usual soap opera from the usual suspects, the tabloid media. One of the biggest selling points that they have is their soap operas. It happened with Charles and Diana. Let's see, it happened with Margaret and Lord Snowden. Oh, Bragdalena and Bennifer. All of that. It's just, it's disgusting. You can't escape it. You put a guy and a girl together and let them have an amazing life, an amazing story, and they will just build an entire script around it. And unfortunately, that is what's happened to the Sussexes. And it doesn't help with all the leaking and the briefing that has come from Kensington Palace and other sources close to the British royal family. So all we can do is push back whenever and wherever we can. And that's what I intend to continue to do as long as I can. I was there in the United Kingdom on their wedding day, and I have been totally invested in the Sussexes ever since. And when they were driven out of the country, I had this terrible feeling like somebody had taken something away from me. I just wanted to wake up in the morning, go online and see all these beautiful photos of Harry and Meghan changing the world. You know, a real live prince and princess, that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't what I expected it to be. There was all this hyper criticism and who made who cry and all that kind of stuff. It has been a huge disappointment. But the two people that have not changed are the Sussexes. They have remained the darlings that they have always been. It's those people around them and their bitterness that has kind of ruined the idea that I had. I thought the Sussexes would be just a perfect thing so that I wouldn't have to think about that orange menace and that wife of his that looked like she used to work in one of them houses. I didn't have to think about him, and I didn't have to think about one of them houses. I didn't have to think about none of that stuff. But they took that away from me. Do you understand? They took what I needed away. And they had nothing to replace it with but lies and gross exaggerations. And then even worse, what they tried to replace it with was not a good fit. This is what they tried to replace it with. You know what I'm saying? That feeling that I was looking for, they tried to replace it with this. These two misfits. Two of the angriest, laziest, most bitter, awful, nasty people I've ever known. And even worse, one of them keeps dressing up like a windsock, and the other one keeps dressing up like a bottle of Mitchum roll-on deodorant. I can't take it. I'm sick of it. Do you hear me? Sick. I'm sick of it. Anyway, that was my meltdown for the day. Now that I gotten that out my system, shall we go on? Now, we block people. We blocked people's ability to search for terms related to possible safety risk. In this case, the search term "with love, Meghan" was restricted by mistake and has now been fixed, Meta spokesperson says. Those devils, those derangers, they were actually able to understand the workings of the safety protocols that they have with the Instagram. And so when you try to use, and I suppose that would do the same thing on Facebook, would it? When you would try to use "with love, Meghan," they restricted the use of it because they thought that it somehow endangered little people. And I'm trying to avoid all the trigger words that, that they try to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying not to use those trigger words. But somehow Meta, which is the name of the parent company for Facebook and Instagram and whatever else they own. Do they own what? Snapchat and WhatsApp now? Meta heard the outcries of most likely the Sussex squad, because I tell you, there's no leader of the Sussex squad, but there are people who are better qualified to meet challenges like understanding what's happening with the algorithm, what's happening with the searches, what information is being fed and what becomes of it, what information has been given and where did it come from. There are some people that are very talented with that, and they could smell a rat or should I say, they can recognize a rat when they saw it. And they knew that there was something that was not right about this. And so after appealing to Meta realized that most likely AI system of some sort that they use to safeguard rather than a human being made the mistake of blocking that term or that hashtag "with love, Meghan." And so now it has been sorted and it's no longer a problem. So I guess the moral of the story is you may think sometimes that these things are just a glitch or it's just your imagination, but the actual truth is that some of those derangers spent their time um, flagging things that should not have been flagged and trying to find some sort of, I suppose, abuse where there was none. And now that that's straightened out, it will make it easier for us to navigate the Instagram and, share things and find things associated with Meghan's new lifestyle show. Uh, uh, no, I don't fool with that one. The channels with all that automated stuff, I don't fool with that. You have to be very careful of that type of information because there are some people, and even some of the Sussex friendly spaces where they're just cranking out information that may or may not be true. So um, you have to be very careful with that. My rule is if there is something that's very newsworthy, like today, someone, yeah, I'm just speaking on the phone, and they said, "Did you hear something about a divorce with Serena and her husband?" If that was a thing, it would be everywhere. It would be everywhere. And as much as I hate to say it, if some of the bigger, like tabloids, that try to portray themselves as a real newspaper, if they're not touching it, then you know there's something to it. That there's nothing to it, should I say. TMZ, they can be, a little surly, but if they're not touching it. So I'm just trying to say, first of all, do a Google search and then figure out which of the top few news services are coming up. If they don't have anything, then there's probably nothing to it. So that's why I say you just have to be very careful, because the idea that MSN and Yahoo and other places that you should be able to trust are pushing this stuff out there doesn't mean that it's real. It just means that they make money from even the crooked news sources. They make money from that, and there has even been the like I'll cite this one as an example. The Oprah Winfrey gummies. There are no Oprah Winfrey gummies. Oprah even made a video. If somebody tells you that I'm selling gummies to lose weight, it does not exist. But there's a video, an AI video of Oprah's mouth moving, saying that they're selling gummies. Now, I could tell that there was something wrong with that video because the AI and the mouth movement and the sound of the voice never seems to line up properly. It always looks a little glitchy, right? And it's a shame that something like that can happen. And I saw that video on what I thought would be a media platform that would be able to stop that. So there's certain words that we cannot say, like what you see in the gray box right there. If I say that, then that kind of, flags my channel. Then they start, trying to figure out if the word combinations are in breach of policy, right? But people can put these fake videos up and they stay up for a while, even after you report them. They stay up. There was a video of Elon Musk selling Bitcoins of all things. And I knew it was fake because it was a new channel. It said that it was Tesla, but it was not. And I reported it. And that channel was up for at least a day, giving nothing but false information. It was an AI video. The words looked like they were coming from Elon Musk, but it was fake. So, you all, I didn't mean to get sidetracked on this topic, but it is necessary. Be careful before you go and start telling everybody that somebody's divorced or dead or this or that. Find some reliable news sources that you can check before you start putting that information out there, because you definitely don't want to be part of the problem. So, anyway, thank you very much, Bonnie Turner. I think that will help enlighten us all, and I appreciate your comment. Okay. So I'm going to just take a quick scan through some of what you all have posted here. You're not alone. There's a lot of people trying to break free, trying to figure out where can I lay low until this storm pass or potential storm has passed. Yep, saw that. Oh, I can't even think about that one. I can't think about it. That one made me sick on my stomach. Let me see. Yeah, that one made me sick on my stomach. I don't like stuff like that. Let me see. That's fake news. That is fake news. Read something about Martha Stewart is upset about Meghan using her recipe, but Meghan hasn't even. That's fake. You all, please stop believing that stuff. It is not true. Just because you see it doesn't mean it's a thing. Martha Stewart is huge, okay? And I just cannot see Martha Stewart punching down because that would be punching down. Martha Stewart is what, 80 years old now? Almost 80. And I doubt if Martha Stewart is losing sleep over Meghan's cooking show. Martha Stewart's show has been distributed to so many places. It's huge. She's a billionaire and she ain't going nowhere until she wants to go. And she knows that. So, oh, you guys do not believe all of these things. Do not, um, it's just gossip. If you don't see Martha Stewart saying it, and if it's not a reliable news source, it is clickbait. It is clickbait. So don't do the work for them. Don't do their work for them. Please don't do their work for them. Um, the only thing we have to be concerned about with Meghan and this show is the people, the little TikTokers and such, and the people who are directly saying Meghan's name, and you know what I'm saying, but quoting a celebrity through some obscure news source, that ain't gonna cut it. That ain't gonna cut it. It has been an attack on Meghan's show from a bunch of nobodies, not somebodies. And Martha Stewart is somebody. And I love Martha Stewart, and I know her better than that. So don't buy it. Okay, let's keep it moving then. Meghan Markle joins Instagram to promote her new Netflix show with Love Meghan. Meghan Markle finally joins Instagram ahead of premiering her new Netflix show with Love Meghan. So Black Enterprise as well as BET. Um, what could I say? Everybody's talking about it. It's huge. It's huge. And everybody wants their pound of flesh. And every little possible news something out there is going to say somebody said and all that kind of stuff. Ignore it. Ignore it. It does not mean anything. Don't accept any quotes from celebrities unless you see a video of that celebrity saying it. Don't accept it because it's not true. Okay? Do not accept it. Unless they catch them on the red carpet and they blurt out something, then it's not true. Don't do their work for them. Documentary we did on them is still one of our most watched documentaries of all times on Netflix, and huge, particularly in the UK, where people just devour everything about them. You may love them or hate them, but you're watching, Ted Sarandos says. You're watching. And Zandy Sussex says, the Rangers, Netflix are regretting their deal with Harry and Meghan. That's what the Derangers are saying. Oh, they regret, they regret, they regret. Meanwhile, Netflix are thrilled with viewing figures, including from the Derangers themselves. Now, you see how different that is? You see how different that is? There are people that are quoting Netflix saying that they're so frustrated with Harry and Meghan. It sounds like it could be true, but it's not. And several times, Ted Sarandos has indicated directly, even through his Instagram, by sharing Meghan's trailer, which is something he doesn't do for everything, but he did that for Meghan because he believes in what she's doing. He believes in what the Sussexes are doing. So don't get distracted, you guys. Do not get distracted by some of these so-called quotes. It does not mean anything. You don't have to fight those battles. The best thing that you could do is to keep reposting the trailer, keep reposting Meghan at the beach, keep sharing the link to her Instagram. That's what you can do. That's what you can do. But sharing that kind of stuff as though it's the gospel, that doesn't help. That doesn't help. Keep pushing for it to be successful. Instead of sharing that, go and watch the trailer. Go and watch the trailer. Just put it on and then start it up again. Because that trailer, what has it been? 34, 35, 36 million views? That trailer has taken, I don't know what the most watched trailer that they have could be, but it may very well be that one. And if it's not, it probably will be soon. It will be soon. I'm going to go and take a look right now. And see where it is for today. Okay. Let me check. So, with love, Meghan. How many views? Now, I don't see where it says how many views there's been. And I'm seeing people quoting it, but I just, I can. Oh boy. Do you guys know how to find it? I don't know how to find it. How many views has it been? Oh, TMCD, thank you. Oh, wait, where did you go? Thank you for 21 months membership. For peace, I delete, I block, I disown, I mute, I ignore it, and then I leave it. Check. Check. Thank you so much, TMCD. Now that sounds like very sage words, wise words of advice. I like it. I like it. Block, block, block. Thank you so much, and thank you for being a member. Okay. Leg says, the Derangers, British media, British royal family has a pattern. Since they get the news when we do, the first day is all positive mostly. Very true. Then the next day, the misinformation begins. If anything is still trending, Thomas, is that Thomas Markle? Then. But yeah, those big blaring headlines are usually mostly positive. And within 24 hours, it turns into attack, attack, attack. And it's like they get all of their usual top writers and some of the youngins that they're trying to break in. And they, one will write about this particular topic, like, the sand on the beach. Another one will write about the footprint that was in the sand or seeing Harry's shoe. And then someone else will write about the dangers of being at the beach in Montecito at that hour of the day. And then someone else will write, Will a rogue wave come up and wash Harry and Meghan off the shore? And then somebody else will write, were the Sussexes able to see the beach from their mansion with the 16 bathrooms, a jacuzzi, and room for a pony? Were they able to see the beach from their house? And then, of course, at the bottom, they'll say, if there's anyone who witnessed Harry and Meghan at the beach, you can contact us, especially if you got a video. Oh, please have a video. And just the beach itself, they can get about 10 stories out of that. All of them will somehow get back to how many bathrooms they have and how much they paid for their home. That always happens. They can never tell the story without the total amount of bathrooms. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Legs. So Brother says UK media are just excited because they have new content to make money and keep their jobs. Now, that is very, very true. They get excited. It's a feeding frenzy. That means they can finish that kitchen renovation. The royal couple, England's Prince Harry and spouse Meghan Markle, brought different pertinent skills to their Netflix deal beyond Markle's long acting career, Sarando said. The documentary we did on them is still one of our most watched documentaries of all time on Netflix, and huge, particularly in the UK, where people just devour everything about them. Sarando said, they're controversial, but that's usually a good thing. You may love them or hate them, but you're watching. And I do think that they are also going to be very strong storytellers with great exposure to media in terms of what people want to talk about, what they think about, and they're great at getting attention. No, I'm sorry, not incidentally, Sarandel said, they're taking that attention and turning it into great philanthropic work around the world. You hear that? They're taking that attention and turning it into great philanthropic work around the world. And you can see the kind of impact that they have and they can have on other celebrities, which is very smart. And we're really happy with that one too. So he's a smart guy. He's a smart guy. He doesn't have Harry and Meghan there just because of how sharply they're dressed. He doesn't have them there because there's neighbors. They're not there because of the occasional lunch dates that they may attend. None of that is the purpose of them being there. Even as we speak, there are people that are drawn to Netflix because of Harry and Meghan. There are people that are going to not even watch that show, but they're going to see something on that screen, and it's like, maybe I'll get a subscription. And then when the show comes out, I may as well watch it. I mean, it is right there. It's right there. So even if they hate watch, from start to finish, Netflix is making money. They do the models. They talk to people in the organization. They are going to extrapolate as much profit as possible. And likewise, the Sussexes, what can I say? As long as the check cleared, as long as that check cleared. I just got Netflix back today just for Princess Meghan. See what I mean? See what I mean? Oh, Let me see. The Netflix trailer was at 70K as of today. All right, thank you very much. What about the no, it's got to be more than 70K, right? It's got to be more than 70K. That's 70,000 views. Shouldn't it be more than that? I mean, it's got to be more than 70,000 views. Check it again. Do me a favor and check it again. It's got to be more than that. Oh, there we go. It was 46 million. Now that sounds like what I heard earlier. 46 million. Remember I said 34, 36, something. I knew it was somewhere up there. 46. Thank you very much, Elaine Parker. That is huge. 46 million views? Oh my goodness. Thank you very much for that. I am happy. You know what? You know what we got to do, don't you? You know what we got to do. Yes, yes, we do. Um, we have to. Yes. So both deals, Obama and Sussex. Now, this is not the entire article, but it spoke about the Obamas before they got to the Sussexes. Both deals, Obamas and Sussexes, were gambles and risk. Up front, Sarando said, we basically go in and fortify them with a good staff and infrastructure to produce with. Sometimes we bring projects to them, and sometimes they bring projects to us. So it works out nicely. It works out nicely. So if you want to see the entire article, um, okay, isn't it just like me? I forgot to put the source up there at the top. Give me just a second. I will find it for you. I got it from Zandy, so that shouldn't take but a second. Okay. But anyway, love the article. I think it sheds a lot of light. And because of the article, we can avoid that false information. Uh, oh, man. Oh, I think I went back too far. But let me see. Oh, here it is right here. The art is from Forbes. That's what I forgot to put, Forbes. And the article is Netflix Sarandos knew the Obamas would be great producers. Meghan and Harry controversial. Now, that is the name of the article. But as you can see, the words from Ted Sarandos interest me more than the title given by Forbes, which, of course, they just want to make sure that people read it. So, oh, you know what? I'll put the link. I'll put the link for the article. I'll do better than that. I will give you the link and you can check it out for yourselves. Give me just a second. I will pin that link to the top of the chat. And why does it look like there's two things up there? Let me see if it works. Yes, it does take you to the actual article. So that is the article. If you would like to read it in its entirety, you can get it from right there. Uh, Crazy has reached a new level. Where you know me from? Church Nelly, where you know me from? Are you talking about me? Where you know me from? I thought we may have met before. uh, that's what my bumper sticker says. My bumper sticker says, the crazy has reached a new level, just so that there's no confusion. Oh, well. So let's keep it moving. Did that, did that. This is from Royal Suitor. I've had the pleasure of meeting Meghan over food, and let me tell you, she and her well known significant other are some of the most down to earth people I've ever met. We talked about our families and, of course, about food. She was gracious, engaged, and kind. Now, that is from Adrian Lipscomb. Lipscomb. Um, Now that was delightful. Now I think they met in Texas when Megan went to the South by Southwest, and that very small print that I can barely see. Let me see. Got it on a bigger screen. That should help. Adrian is chef owner of Uptown Cafe and Bakery and founder of the 40 Acre Project, a native Texan. Adrian opened up Uptown Cafe restaurant on the north side of La Crosse, Wisconsin, as a catalyst for urban change, working with the community to help revitalize the area. Uptown functions as a community impact space, operating an open door policy and providing a safe haven to everyone in the community. Adrian's food focuses on Southern cuisine with using local, while using local ingredients and working with farmers in the Cooley regional and Organic Valley area. Adrian draws inspiration from her life experiences and African American culinary history to tell the story of African American influence in our food culture today. Currently, Adrian is working on the 40 Acre Project, whose mission is to preserve the legacy of Black agriculture and foodways by purchasing land for Black farmers. I like that. To practice traditional agricultural methods, provide resources for the food industry, create education opportunities, and a historical archive of information on traditional Black agriculture. The Foodways and partners with the organizations Black Farmers and Hospitality Industry. Adrian holds a master's in architecture. Oh, I like her already. And is currently a PhD candidate in urban and regional planning. That is very important work, you guys. At the University of Texas at, at Austin, concentrating on the behavior of minorities for land use and transportation. Okay, so I'm guessing she's based in La Crosse, Wisconsin. But doesn't that just seem like somebody that the Sussexes would bond with? That just seems like someone that Harry and Meghan would instantly bond with. So it really, really speaks to the character of the Sussexes that these are the kind of people that they connect to. You get me? These are the kind of people they connect to. Oh, say it again. Say it again. The Sussex squad and supporters have done an incredible job in annihilating the derangers and haters. The support has been eye opening and effective. I will say a big amen to that one. I have been so inspired by the way that squatties and even non squatties, but people who love Meghan or care about the Sussexes in whatever way, they are not taking it. That's why I said, you guys, don't bother with all that other stuff, quoting this person, that person. There has been a concerted attack on this show, and the pushback, the backlash has been epic. And that is where I think our focus should be, is to make sure that we do not allow them to define Meghan's show. And the best way to do that is just positive reinforcement. Keep putting it out there, keep sharing it, keep watching those clips. That is the best way to respond to it. But dragging that negativity around and sharing it, that's not going to help, especially when they're misquoting and such. Not useful at all. Okay. Ah, uh, Vuelwa, uh, is it Nakumbi? She wants to say hi to a few people, so I'll just leave that up there for the time being. Oh, Judy Matasset is here. She wants to say hi to a few people. There we go. Now, take a look here. I'm already bored with Meghan Markle new Netflix cooking series. The first trailer for With Love Meghan dropped today. Signed, Bitter Betty. that woman at the lectern wearing the metallic tutu seems to have a problem with Meghan. Yes, that big heifer in that metallic tutu seems to have a problem with Meghan. I don't know what to tell you. Babar, the writer, Babar, the writer, seems to have a problem with the Duchess of Sussex. And she ain't seen nothing but the trailer. She ain't seen nothing but the trailer. Now, she does not appear to me to be someone, I know I'm about to get real petty. She just does not impress me as someone who would get bored with a cooking show. She does not impress me. Oh, that's what I was trying to do. She does not impress me as someone who gets bored with cooking shows, let alone food. Now, you see, sometimes you have all of the possibility in the world to keep your mouth to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you can say something, don't mean that one ought to. So, Amy McCarthy, reporter, eater.com. Why does that not shock me? Eater.com. Amy McCarthy is a reporter at eater.com. She covers dining, of course, pop culture, policy, and labor, and as many weird online trends as possible. Now, you know what? Weird and trends, I could see her covering that. Before joining eaters.com, she worked as an editor of Eater Dallas and Eater Houston for 6 years, as evident. Her writing on culture, music, politics has appeared in Vice, Vox, Playboy. Don't tell me she appeared in Playboy. The writing, right? Okay. Cosmopolitan, Texas Monthly, and more outlets. Okay. And look at there. There's a couple of her articles. Well, we know the one about Meghan. The other one is quarter sheet pans are the unsung heroes of my kitchen. Did she miss right, or shouldn't it say quarter pounders? I guess she meant quarter sheet pans. Um Now, I'm not saying that she shouldn't speak her mind, but it's certain things that certain people ought to think twice about before they cover. You know what I'm saying? You really ought to think twice about it. I would just I would have let this one get by me. I would have just have let it get by me, and I would wait to cover something that would not be so obvious, if you know what I mean. So all I can say is it takes nerves. It really takes nerves. As much nerves as it takes to wear a metallic tutu, that's how much nerves it takes to write some disparaging story about someone that you have never met, about a show that you have not seen. I mean, just say you don't like her, or just say that you don't like people like her, wink, wink. Just say you don't like her. If that's what you mean, just say it. If you're not for a certain physical type of person, or you've been looking for your own Prince Charming, and your search for Prince Charming ends up being a box of Krispy Kremes early on a Sunday morning, then just say it. But leave Meghan alone. Leave her alone. You could have wrote about whatever you wanted to. It'd be like if I was a fashion writer, and you know what I'm saying? I had a metallic tutu of my own. And yet I chose to single you out with your metallic tutu. Had every opportunity to keep Meghan's name out of your mouth, among other things. And you instead decide to go on the attack. Why be so predictable? Why not be the one that says something positive instead of something negative? That's what I want to say. Use your platform and shock people by doing the unexpected and be positive. So that's what I'm trying to say. Because some things are very predictable. There are some things that are just very predictable. But does this article that she wrote about Meghan, does it do any way to perpetuate more understanding about Meghan, more understanding about food, although I think she's got that covered. Um, I think she knows more than the average bear. Um, I mean, kind of like committed to memory. Which reminds me, it was something about that silhouette that looked so familiar to me. It looked so familiar to me, and I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. It was just something about that silhouette that seemed so eerily familiar, so predictable. You know what I'm saying? Just like you all, as soon as I began this topic, you pretty much predicted what my response would be. No sooner than I said tutu, than you knew where this was going to go. Metallic tutu. I've never seen a metallic tutu before. I've seen pink tutus. I've seen, the usual, what do you call that material? Is it chiffon or whatever? I've seen all that before, but I have never seen a metallic tutu. Ever. So I think I've made my point, and I'm going to move on. You know what? That is a great idea. Anytime someone has violated the very code of conduct in fashion,
police! 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 Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help!
yes, call the fashion police. I don't think it's proper in the year of 2025 to go strutting about in a metallic tutu. And lastly, if we could all quote the very wise and the very talented Nina Simone.
Hey girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Elephants in tutus on roller skates instead of shoes. They decide to write about the news in their metallic tutus. I just wrote that myself. See how much better y'all feel now? With all of the pressure, with all of the misdeeds that have taken place in the past few days, the negativity, all of these so-called royal reporters, and I feel weird saying this, but food critics. It's hard for me to refer to her as a food critic because I just don't see her ever criticizing anything. It's hard for me to accept that she has a critical it's hard for me to accept that she has a critical eye, or should I say a critical palate. Right? It's hard for me to accept she has a critical palate when it comes to the culinary arts. So with that, I am going to move on. Check it out. NFL memes. Bengals and Dolphin fans, Carson Wentz, we are begging you just one win out of you. Come on, Carson Wentz. The Bengals and Dolphin fans, Carson Wentz, we are begging you just one win out of you. Just one win. There is something about this football player, American football, that looks so familiar. I just don't know what it is. I feel like I've seen that face before. I feel like I've seen that face before. But where? Where? Where have I seen it before? Elephants, they wear tutus and roller skates instead of shoes. They roll about in metallic tutus. But today they're wearing blue suede shoes. Okay. Okay, I'll just tell you. Prince Harry has a twin, and his twin looks like he's broken his nose before. But this guy, Carson Wentz, or is it Wentz? Wentz. Carson Wentz is a professional football player, and well, anyhow, he's just has this striking resemblance to Harry. I mean, they seem like twins. They almost seem like twins. Take a look there. All I'm saying is I've never seen Prince Harry and Carson Wentz in the same place at the same time. Never seen them in the same place at the same time. Check that out. So this has been a story for a while, and I didn't realize it, but one of the slides that I'm going to share with you, I had it already. I mean, come on. At a glance, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't necessarily be like, Harry? Now this guy is huge. He's probably weighs about, I don't know, 250 pounds. But whatever, he's a big guy. And Harry, as you know, naturally athletic. Prince Harry urged to meet his lookalike NFL player Carson Wentz. Now, this is the one that I had for a long time, and I didn't realize I had that slide. I had forgot all about this guy, but I thought it was a lot of fun that they posted that today. And it just reminds me about the close relationship Prince Harry has with some of those people in the National Football League. That's Prince freaking Harry. I tell you, on the slow news night, as soon as this came across the wire, the Daily Mail, well, they made sure that they were able to have their cake and eat it too. That's Prince freaking Harry. I mean, this was a big deal for them. And the thing is, I can't remember where Harry was supposed to be, but they were not expecting Harry to show up at this event. They didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I cannot remember where he was supposed to be, but all of a sudden, there's Harry all over the TV, just burning down the internet. My award was presented by Prince freaking Harry. How cool is that? I would love to see Harry at more football games. I would love that. Okay. There you go. Pittsburgh Steelers, Prince freaking Harry. That was like the big tagline, wasn't it? Love that. Oh boy, they were so jealous. They were so jealous over there at Salt Island, over in Narnia. Jealous. And then I found this one. This is an old one from 2017. When you realize you've never seen Prince Harry and Carson Wentz in the same place at the same time. See that one? That one is from 2017. So this has been an ongoing thing for a while. Now, Limonada Media, we are so back with new episodes of Fail Better, Boneheads, Pop Culture Debate Club, and more coming out this week. Which podcast are you excited to listen to this week? Let us know in the comments below. So, as you can see, they are still proudly featuring Archetypes as one of their more highly coveted podcasts. And I think that at some point there will be some new episodes of Archetypes. And I kind of think it's going to happen without ceremony, but all of a sudden, boom, it's going to be out there. So look forward to that pleasant surprise. Now, this happened today. This happened. I am not going to show the video, but update after some digging, I finally found the video from 6 years ago when Senator Fisher being sworn in by Mike Pence with her husband by her side. To my expectation, after the oath, her husband gleefully shook Pence's hand and thanked him for his leadership. Before they left, he shook his hand again. Given his refusal to shake Vice President Harris's hand today, I suspect him of being a bigot. Now I'm certain. So, this thing that happened was just so weird. Now, there's Kamala. You can see her in the bottom right. She goes to shake his hand after his wife takes the oath, and he would barely look up from the Bible. He kept his head down. He avoided eye contact. There on the left, he couldn't shake Joe Biden's hand hard enough when Joe Biden was vice president. And up there at the top, Mike Pence. He just about snatched Mike Pence's arm out of socket. So, what is it so weird about Vice President Harris? I wonder what it is about her that makes her so different. I mean, he's proudly there with his wife while she takes the oath of office. So he couldn't be anti-woman. And he shook the hands of those two white vice presidents. So he couldn't have it in for white men. But that woman of color, oh, that was just a bridge too far, wasn't it? Now, to be fair, Bruce Fisher, the husband of Senator Deb Fisher, uses a cane due to health issues stemming from a serious accident in the past that required surgery. This information has been noted in various media reports where he appears to have his wife at where he appears with his wife at public events. So in his right hand, he's holding that cane, but his left hand is in his pocket. Now, when a person has their hands in their pocket, especially in a formal setting like this, that is not a good look. And also, let me remind you that he was all smiles with Mike Pence and Joe Biden. The entire time, this man refused to smile. When he walked up, he had a something stank look on his face and frowning. And when he, was holding the Bible and everything, he just kept keeping his eyes down to the floor or on the Bible, whatever. He just did not want to acknowledge, in my opinion, he just did not want to acknowledge the Vice President Harris. It's very strange. Look at him. Look at him. His brother, or whoever that guy is forcing a grin. His wife is grinning. Vice President Harris, unbothered. But him, he looks like he's waiting for his colonoscopy. He looks like he's waiting for his colonoscopy, or he looks like every stall in the airport bathroom is full, and he is full of crap. That's what he looks like. Go figure. Boy, I tell you, I don't know. I don't know. Things are just very awkward these days, extremely awkward. Alice Langdon, Baron, you're too much. Go tutu. Actually, it's the metallic tutu, but yes, thank you so much for the super chat. That tutu, that moose is wearing, that dancing elephant, and of all things, a food critic. And what do you want to be when you grow up? A food critic. I want to be a food critic, Mommy. Are you sure? Yes. I want to be a food critic. Okay. Well, she may be a food critic or food writer or whatever, but as far as I'm concerned, she is and probably always will be
bitter. And somebody needs to say it. Bitter. Bitter, bitter, bitter.
Yep. A bitter food critic. All right. British royal family. Thank you again, Alice. British royal family set for staggering pay increase this year from the UK Treasury. In April, the payout from the British public purse to the monarchy sovereign's grant will go up over $56 million. 56 US dollars, I guess. 56 million US dollars. Imagine that. Mandy B, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you for being here. So, Zandy Sussex says, where can I also find a job like this where the less work I do rather, the more money I get paid. The royal family has a prime example. Let me stop. The royal family are a prime example of negative return on investment. Even as masses are starving, they keep getting outrageous increases of money. And they have no shame about it. There is no shame. They are just going to take the money. They're literally taking money from people who can barely afford to heat their homes. People who don't really have fun anymore because they can't afford it. People that are dependent on food banks while they are living in these lavish castles. And William, who was supposed to be building affordable housing, just haven't heard anything else about it lately. Don't know what happened to that. Interesting. They have these country estates. They have property all over the place. Affordable housing is not just an issue for the UK. It's an issue for so many people. In the United States, there is such a shortage of housing. The population is growing, it's not shrinking, but there is a shortage on housing. And big corporations here in the US have bought up so many properties across the country. And a lot of the properties are vacant. That's what's really bonkers about it, is that there's so much vacant property. I think a politician who can adopt some type of strategy for housing, affordable housing, they will go very far in politics. But it doesn't seem like, whether you're liberal or conservative, nobody wants to touch it. There's just very little conversation about affordable housing. And the ability to save money to even purchase a property is getting further and further away from working class people. So that is going to be very important in the future. It's important right now. I just, for some reason, we're talking about the wrong things when we really need to focus on consumer protections. The taxpayers need to be protected from these high prices. And sadly, whatever I could possibly say about what we need here in the U.S., I know that there are just certain staples in the UK that cost so much more for them than what we pay for it here, especially when it comes to fuel. They pay so much more for fuel, and that is unfortunate. So um, they're not ashamed or embarrassed. They're going to just take this money. There's no mechanism to give it back. There's um, no urge or no feelings or about it being too much. They're just going to accept it, and they're going to keep taking these big vacations and such. They don't even report on where William and Kate go on vacation. They don't even report it. But trust and believe, when they take time off, whether they're together or separate, they are taking some hell of a vacations. I refuse to believe that those two have cut back on vacations. What's different now is throwing Harry and Meghan to the wolves. They can take these vacations and nobody will report it. Nobody will report it. Now, everyone's invited to join us and celebrate the world premiere of With Love, Meghan. Date 15 January 2025. The time all day. Hello. Location online. Menu avocado toast and drink of choice. Enjoy one of Meghan's favorite recipes. I'll be there. You know what? Let me see. Maybe I need to buy another avocado just to make sure it's just right. Avocado, toast, and crumble some bacon on it. Ooh, that sounds good. Just crumble that bacon on it. Good eating. That sounds good. Is that right? I never heard that before. I never heard that before. That is crazy. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You know, as big a corporation as Walmart is, and listen, I do not believe in picking on the big guys just because they're big. But I have to make this example because it is it makes it easier for you to understand what I'm getting at. Walmart doesn't pay a lot of money like in the old days when you could get a job at a Sears Roebuck store and make a pretty decent wage. Walmart it does not pay a lot in most places, and the people that work full time at Walmart, they cannot afford uh, food, they cannot afford housing, and they certainly cannot afford medical care. So it's all subsidized. Walmart's workforce, to a great extent, is subsidized by the US government. So that's just a big example. There are many smaller examples of companies where people have everything subsidized. So you're getting medical care, you're getting hopefully dental, and you are going to get housing in some cases, not everybody, but there are a few people that live in subsidized housing, and also, you know, the food assistance and such. And Walmart doesn't need to pay anymore because, as far as they're concerned, the government will take care of it. That is the model by which most of the Walmart employees work. You know, unless they live at home with their mama and they still covered with insurance from their parents or whatever. That's the model that they use. So, um, oh, you know what? That should have been closer to the other slide, but yeah, there you go. The recipients of that 56 million dollar raise. British royal family set for staggering. Did I do this twice? Oh, you know what? I think it's just in the wrong order. The amount of money the British royal family received from the UK Treasury will increase substantially in 2025. In April, the amount of money given from the British public purse to the monarchy will increase by over $56 million or 45 million pounds, taking the funding of the sovereign grant over $165 million or 132 million pounds. That is not the actual cost. According to Republic, the royal family cost the British taxpayers $500 million a year. And I believe it. I'll tell you why in a minute. A figure described as scandalous as the UK government struggles to find money for other budget items, the sovereign grant is the amount paid to the monarchy by the UK Treasury. This is public money. All of this money comes from the government at a time when the government is not able to properly fund schools, hospitals, police. CEO of Republic Graham Smith said, per Town and Country, it is scandalous. Not only should it not be going up at all, it should be going down, said Smith. Now, speaking of Graham Smith, Republic, the yellow and black signs, they commissioned a study which says that the British royal family cost the taxpayers over £500 million a year. And that may seem like a very large large amount of money, but when this troop in the color, what is that? That's the king's birthday, right? The unofficial birthday. There's a parade. There's lots of security. There's a flyover. That costs a lot of money. All of their homes are secure 24 hours a day, whether or not they're there. Security is a huge cost. And when they travel and go abroad, or if they travel at home, depending, that costs a lot of money. But if you add up everything, it well exceeds $165 million or 100 and what is it, 34 million pounds. It is so much more expensive than what they're reporting. Much more expensive. But for security purposes, they are not allowed to discuss the price of security, the cost of travel expense and all of that. They won't discuss that. They're even paying millions of dollars for the storage of the royal train that they don't even use. Nobody has used that train since Lizzie, and in all likelihood, they won't. So instead of putting the train in a museum, it's just put away in storage. Nice work if you can get it. Nice work if you can get it. Yes, isn't that the truth, Legs? They avoid talking about the problems in the UK, but they never stop talking about problems every place else. They never stop talking about problems every place else, but they avoid any of the domestic problems. And I don't know that any American media outlet has been going around dragging the UK. It just does not exist. But as I was just saying, I try to avoid picking on the bigger companies because I think it's so blatantly obvious to use them as the easy target or the chew toy or the punching bag. Um, and they're just part of a much larger community of retailers. Well, the same goes with the US being the biggest economy. Of course, it's the biggest target, being the what is the US? The second largest English speaking country after after India, which is the largest country that has the English language. I think it may be the US. Well, anyway, so reporting news from the US, no brainer. Of course, you're going to do that. You're going to get news from the US. It's so much bigger, and the stories can be so much more salacious, especially with these mass casualties and stuff. So it's no wonder they would have bureaus here. But it just seems like the Daily Mail has it set in their minds to totally undermine the US and to project more of that conservative politics through their newspapers. Anyway, thank you, Legs. Does anybody understand this? Exactly what happened? Exactly what happened? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not the most important thing in the world, but I'm just like, are they okay? Demi Moore appeared to ignore Kylie during Sunday night ceremony. An insider has revealed what really happened. Demi Moore did not snub Kylie at the Golden Globes, with an insider stressing that she has no ill will toward the lip kit mogul. The lip kit mogul, they say. The actress found herself at the center of an online scandal after she appeared to ignore the reality star. Shortly after Demi scooped the Best Actress in Musical or Comedy prize for her part in The Substance. So, yeah, I don't know what happened. It's just everybody has been reporting like it was a thing, but maybe she just doesn't know Kylie. Maybe she just doesn't know her. But that being said, ba-bam, ba-bam, would you look at that? 62 years old? 62? Wow. She looks amazing. She looks amazing. Now, yeah, she looks amazing. I like the dress. I like the little scoop, swoop, de doop doop in the middle. I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, she looks older than 27. I mean, in a way, she looks 27. In some ways, she kind of doesn't. Well, I tell you what, she does not look her best tonight. That's for certain. Maybe that's just a bad picture of her. Yeah, Kylie is a billionaire. Her lipstick, her brand is a billionaire. She's a young billionaire. As a matter of fact, out of all of the people in that family, I think she is probably the wealthiest. And guess what? We're birthday twins. Kylie and I are birthday twins. By the way, you guys, I'm almost done. I am almost done. Let me see here. I think I have just I only got 1, 2, 3 more slides. So I'm almost done, you guys. Just to give you a heads up. But yeah, she looks good. I know she had some work done, but doesn't matter. She looks good. Very good. We are in the age of undetectable makeovers. People used to do fillers. Now they are opting for subtle, more natural makeovers. Christina Aguilera, Lindsay Lohan, Demi Moore, etc. Yeah. Now, when she first got whatever she did a while ago, her face looked weird, but I think that it needed for the swelling to go down. And now that the swelling has gone down, she looks amazing. So if it takes about a year of puffiness and you can get maybe another good 10 years of looking amazing like this, then I think a lot of people would be like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. So whatever she has done or whatever, I say it does not matter. She looks great and she's feeling great. And more importantly, she is a working actress. And that is something that not everyone can say. She is a working actress. But I will say this, Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I just love them. I love these two people. They just seem so perfect for each other. They're young, they're energetic. Um, they have their careers, and they just seem like they really love each other. It seems like they're just always going to be in high school. That, of course, is Tom Holland, Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe franchise, and Zendaya, who was also um, in Spider-Man and has been in Dune and a few other things. Yeah, she's amazing, and she's also very tall, which makes this photo a bit deceiving. But I think she's the taller of the two of them. But does she give you the Hollywood glamour? And take a look at her left hand. Is that an engagement ring? Could that be? I know they are so cute together. They are just cute. Yes, could that be an engagement ring? Sure looks like it. And of course, the dress. The dress. I have to say, for the event, that is the dress. Now, if I'm correct, I think she's wearing Louis Vuitton. I think that's what she's wearing. But either way, she looks amazing. She is oozing style, oozing glamour. Absolutely divine. Love the color, love the cut, love it. Yeah, she's tall. She's a tall girl. And just imagine when she has those heels on, she's got to be what, 6'1, 6'2? Right? Oozing glamour. Anyway, I'm going to ooze my way on out of here. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And thank you for your memberships. Remember, Royal Sussex memberships are still a bargain at just $4.99. For the price of a cup of coffee, you can help support this channel. Now, no pressure. I know some of you guys have been unemployed, you have your bills and such. Don't worry about it. Just make sure that you hit that like button. That is a great place to start. And also sharing the channel. And more importantly, make sure you watch all of these Sussex stuff you can. Like if you don't have Netflix and you know someone who does, perhaps you can kind of encourage them to watch it, maybe, or something. Yeah, or something. It would be helpful. But I do want the Sussexes to be very successful with their work, and this show is a big deal for Meghan, especially with everything that they're putting her through right now. It just makes sense that we give her as much support as possible. Yeah, so do what you can, but don't put any extra pressure on yourself. It's not worth it. It's not what you contribute as much as what's in your heart. Oh, you're welcome, Connie Balmer. Thank you. All right, and that'll do it. So not going to drag it out tonight. Thank you, moderators, as always. And you know what I think I want to close with today? Haven't watched this one in a while. And trigger warning, it is from that island. So I'm going to close with this one. And again, I thank you so much for being here. And I cannot say this enough. Thank you all so much for the marathon. I'm still like feeling so energized from that marathon. And some of you all have shared some very heartfelt, things that, like in some cases, you have not been able to talk about or share with other people. So that made it that much more special. I feel like we're just so much closer. So that makes it great. All right. So gonna close with this one, and I will see you all tomorrow.
What a pleasure to meet you. My goodness, are you warm enough out here?
I am.
Oh, good.
She's been here since 9:15.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Are you from here? Were you born and raised here? Do you live here?
I live in Hoylake, which is about 6 miles away.
Oh. That's not too far.
No.
And what do you have planned for the rest of the day today?
Just thinking about the honour of meeting you.
Oh. Thank you so much. Oh. That is the kindest thing. Thank you. It's a real honor to meet you as well. Oh, thank you. You're so kind. Thank you so much. Well, Happy New Year.